just peering into my soul right now. We'll see if OMG are going to pounce on that one, but it is the Zeri for TT to go with their nomenclature.
Oh yeah, Rengar's not banned. It's just such a rare ban that I forget about it. But OMG, Tianjin is the one Rengar player in the major regions. They absolutely could go towards that. Why wouldn't they? Tianjin's been fantastic. At that pick, the Leona's going to get locked in now for OMG. We did say that that's very powerful with the Ash Braum off the table. And
so many times, Nightmare. So many times. We see that when this pick slips through, there's a reason why it goes back to being the priority ban for like the next 5 OMG games. It's crazy to me that we actually see this slip through. But now the question, the spotlight is to TT. What do they have to answer? Beichuan had an incredible game number 1 against Tianjin, and he's going to need to find an answer here.
Yeah, so you're locking in double AD carries. Rengar is pretty happy to press ult and run at them if he wants to. So Tianjin has been great at playing out these kind of like bitty skirmishes where he gets his empowered W to tank up some CC, cleanse it off, and then kind of revisit the play with more HP again from that battle roar. It's been one of the better parts of his play. Also his double bowlers as well have been very impactful. So TT, they do need to have some way to deal with this. Now something like that Alistar, at least they can knock him out of his jump with the Q. You can be a frontline at the start of it, but I don't see what TT are going to do proactively against this Rengar, which is a problem. They might go towards something like the Lilia, because the Lilia can go towards the Zhonya's quite early into a build compared to some AP junglers, and also it gives you some really good like close range fighting potential. But right now, OMG, I love what they have for themselves because it's much more aggressive options. Last game, they were playing defensive. OMG do not want to be playing defensive. They want to be on the front foot. And I think that the Leona, the Rengar, and the Kai'Sa really speaks towards that.
Yeah, I think as Trouble would say it, just pressing the W key is what OMG's goals are here. And I expect them to round that out here in the second part of the picks and bans, because right now they are a go all-in composition. And I love that we are completely centered on that here. In the second phase, though, the Kennen already banned.
So the thing about the press W thing is just like keep going forwards. The thing is, Rengar kind of does the opposite too, because
go back and then forward, back and then forward.
If Rengar ends up getting fed, the game is no longer the genre of MOBA. It is no longer League of Legends. It is a survival horror, and they are the horror. So yeah, at that point, you kind of like you struggle to walk into that dark, creepy room where there's obviously something waiting for you. It's got those bright yellow eyes and some sharp, pointy teeth. Going to that second round, and yeah, TT, I think they probably should be aiming for something like a Lilia. I think that would help them in terms of engage from the jungle as well, especially with the cannon gone. Well, that's why it's been banned out from OMG, and you start asking yourself, well, okay, what do you have? Do you need to go towards something like the Zyra or the Brand? And if they do you need to go towards a Zhonya's second to stop that engage coming through, rather than something like that Rylai's? That could actually be a very important build adaptation from whatever Beichuan goes towards.
I really like the Lilia ban away here. Does beg the question of if we'll just see the Zyra or things like that come through. It is the Azir banned away, so more of that kind of setup potential from mid lane being taken away by TT against OMG. It is the Gnar, though, speak of setup for Hery.
Yeah, and it's a good blind pick. Top lane blind picks were probably better last patch because we saw the Rumble and the Renekton both very, very powerful. The Rumble's taking a bit of a hit, but the Gnar is still a good blind pick as it stands right now. It does well into your tanks, and it means that you kind of have to play kind of like weirdly carry versus carry. Hoya could go towards something like that TF, which can obviously spot out that Rengar. That can be quite powerful for him. Before that, though, Beichuan does go towards that Brand. It is going to be a target for on his head against that Rengar, but at least you can instant stun with EQ if Rengar does jump you. But I do think you're probably going to need to go towards the Zhonya's second item instead of third against this kind of comp.
You need more CC, honestly. As long as you can chain that CC into the Rengar, it's going to feel really, really good. Love this TF pick here. The yellow cards are going to be so potent against this would-be Predator, and TT set themselves up with a bit of a squishier comp against a kind of all-dive comp by OMG.
You know what TF's also going to be really good against the Rengar for? Pressing R when he does, just to reveal what the Rengar is. He's not going to be invisible. You've got eyes on, you got the CCTV, you're looking for a buff and say, okay, there's a cat on your 6, get out of that. So that's going to be important to see how Hoya uses his ultimate. Angel goes back towards the Hui. We haven't seen nearly as much mage gameplay in summer in the LPL. I think that with such a heavy focus on AP junglers, mages have fallen away from things, but Angel on the Hui was incredibly potent on this pick back in spring to my Recollection. So he's going to be a good follow-up as well. The Leona can go forwards, and then you put that QW down from that wave. Need to see how that lane matchup is going to go into the Zeri, though. We haven't seen that much AD carry versus mage gameplay. Yeah,
true, but I do like the stability it brings. A ton of utility, but also just the consistent damage as time goes on, and the spacing that Spiraling Despair can bring. But we have two very different comps this time around. OMG, they've decided they're done resting on their laurels. They want to go forward. They want to fight, and the leading man of that charge, Tianjin, on his Rengar.
So, OMG looking to recover. Currently, 5-0 in series. They have not always had a clean series. They are somewhat of best of 3 merchants. They will have to prove that again here in Game 2 when they do pick up those aggressive tools.
And this is a TT who are fighting for that spot in the next round. Try to get to 4 wins here. We saw them come and give a bit of a surprise to OMG. But the battles have just begun here in Shanghai, and OMG have fought tooth and nail for every single victory they've gotten, literally, with the Rengar here in this one. It's a game of comebacks for OMG, and it's a game of TT trying to put them down a peg for their first series loss. A 2-0 would mean so much going into this one. It is Game 2 of TT versus OMG. The OMG fans are not impressed for that first game. I'm just going to say that right now. The cheers have gone down significantly.
Tell you what, I saw one of like the original OMG logos on those shirts as well, way back from like 2013, 2014. That was a bit of a blast from the past. God, I remember that back in season 3 and season 4 wells. That was a time to be an OMG fan. We kind of thought last year that would have been a time, you know, that was the fan favorite roster for OMG of recent years. That was a good time to be an OMG fan.
The constant dark horse.
Yeah, sadly, couldn't quite get over the finish line in any of those, and then of course they've lost a lot of the key pieces which made that roster so special. Ppgod, the only member who is remaining from that era. But you know, OMG, even though they've lost a lot of those members, they've given us a lot more to be excited about than I thought they would do, and there's a serious credit to that. You know, they lost even Despair, their coach. They lost 4 out of their 5 members, and they're still playing fun, scrappy, improv League of Legends, which to me is one of my favorite styles to watch play the game. It's the fast food of League of Legends. So what you see here is that Hoya's trying to bring the wave away from that rush, so Hery can't just hop in and hop out to make use of that, dropping his minion aggro and of course not being able to auto-attack back. But Hoya drags that wave away and makes sure that Hery doesn't get value out of it.
So big spotlights on the jungles here. Tianjin going to be pathing up towards top side of the map. Gotta see how proactive he wants to be. Beichuan had his number last game especially, but this time around, I will say TT not going to have as much setup tools that they had in that game number 1. Level 2 has been completed by TT, and Ppgod going to be forced to flash away.
Yeah, what I said, just keeping pinging those Qs onto the wave. I think OMG's bot lane thought they'd hit level 2 a minion or 2 before that, but 1xM managing to get that level up on the other side of it means that Ppgod loses his summer. Support man, it's just so easy. You've got to hit level 2 first.
Alright, Afro move.
What else could I say?
Love to hear it. Any supports out there, make sure to feel confident in that. You know? What?
The saddest thing about that is that most people will probably have not seen the original clip of that.
Oh, probably. That's old, man. That's we're showing our age a little bit here. Still one of my favorite players of all time, though.
Man, one thing which I would really like to do at some point is like go through all of the old terms which are named after players, some of the big moments, and kind of like go and revisit. Because one of the things is the League community that we're not always great at doing is revisiting some of like the key moments which we've ended up like revisiting over time. That's focusing on the farming scenario. Wow, that's like,
look at it go! He's getting all of them.
You know, how many people saw Mad Life play now? How many people saw Insect when he was actually doing kicks within the LPL as well? Of course, he came over to him and he was jungler for Royal Club for a while as well back in Season 4. You know, it's been a while since those players have been active now. And while they are part of the bedrock of how we understand like some of the game now, it's just been so long, it'd be quite nice to just, you know, revisit some of those goals.
Yeah. It's also hard to set up those new moments, right? The named abilities don't come often anymore. Now, let's take a look at the map here, though, as TT looking to be proactive on the top side. Go for the flash play, but get Hery. They're going to flash for it anyways. Hery going down, and first blood yet again for TT.
Double flashes invested by Hoya and Beichuan, but they do get the kill onto the Twisted Fate. The wave is not in a great spot for Hery, so he's going to have to teleport back in and immediately hard shove that in as quickly as possible. While this is happening, the Hoya is going to go back for his first base of the game and immediately get himself to tier 2 boots, which means he's going to be able to chase down even harder. He uses that flash, didn't even need to use the ignite, which is taken on this TF so far. So if he can get himself another kill trade, that could be very, very important. That's
the Lion is looking. And they actually find 1x in on the angle here. He's getting the cleanse out, trying to go for his own kill, but Tianzhen will pick that one up. And I'm just going to say, as a former zookeeper, my favorite animal is a lion, and that's a 400-pound sucker right there.
Yeah, so he's going to be put that all of that bite force down on the jugulars of the targets he is choosing. 1x very nearly turns that around. One more auto attack would have gotten himself a kill, but Starry ends up winning out the trade between AD carries. That Feather is going to get that freeze out in bot lane as well, which is really annoying. You get a kill and suddenly lose a load of farm after the point. Hoya does just a quick auto attack reset, quickly gets himself that pressure attack, forces his top lane Twisted Fate. Just a lot more damage than you think when you get those auto attack resets through. Gets himself that stack deck. And that's the dead little mini yodel.
Little thing, I think it's really funny. In the wild, actually, female lions are the ones that deliver the food to the male lions, which I think is hilarious. But in this concept, in League of Legends itself, the bot lane just delivered the food to Tianzhen. So he's going to be sitting happy. But they are also looking to stay proactive because there is an objective coming up with the grubs, and they are moving Ppgod and Starry over to this top side.
Would have been perfect if they had the new Anima squad skin for the Lion. That's why it doesn't have a flash this time. Chance that Ppgod go.
Oh, no. He has the yellow card, but they are just waiting for him. If they're going to get the Zenith play, they're going to get the CC combo, and OMG now gets Starry his own kill.
So we talked about it in the game, first game, talking about how Feather was important for TT to get him onto the map. Were OMG going to try and pin him down? Well, they get a kill in his lane, and immediately they're the ones who start roaming around the map. After that, as a bot lane, grubs have now spawned, and TT were not really prepared for that one. Hoya doesn't even have himself level 6 to get himself even further up. Tianzhen has himself that ferocity. He could start jumping forward.
The double control ward.
Yeah, a little bit careful going into the ring like that at some points. We might just be getting ourselves to the point where we can
Get the AoE there. True Shot Barrage comes across as well. Look at the double CC chain here. Feather is pulling off some agile tricks on this big cow. Now Ucal comes in too. Spiraling Despair. It should pick off Hoya. They get one back there too. Starry is in the midst of everybody. And TT are picking them apart here. They've gotten all 3 grubs. They've gotten a couple more kills. And they are taking OMG to task.
Hoya comes in, Hoya dies, but he's done his job. 2-2-1 on that Twisted Fate, and TT as a whole picking up the grubs that they need and the kills they do. OMG, they have themselves a more aggressive composition, but that doesn't mean you can be playing like this all the time. Tianzhen gets bitten by the brand as he goes into that rush. There wasn't really any available follow-up beyond that. Tianzhen trying to stack up his ferocity again, but the brand passive ends up spreading from the grubs onto 2 people, then there's the combo afterwards, and then you get yourself the Q stun after.
My God, the damage transfer over there with the double knockup from Feather as well. Oh man, I love that Starry is in there trying to find as many kills back as possible, but now you have a Ucal who's 2-0 on the Zeri, and there's going to be so much pressure wherever this pick is.
Yeah, and you know, it's so good to see Ucal have good games like this against you. Spring wasn't great for Ucal. Honestly, group stage wasn't great for Ucal either. He's looking a lot better here in the Nirvana group, and last year, when TT made themselves that playoffs, he was absolutely ecstatic. And when they missed out on playoffs by just a series in summer, he broke down in tears because this team, despite it not having all the results, means an awful lot to this. No, Ucal's had a hell of a career. And you just come over here to TT. This team means an awful lot to him. They can get themselves that one step closer towards playoffs again. I'm sure you'll see those emotions on full display again, as every time he comes out on stage, he makes them known as well. It is very hard not to root for someone like Ucal because he's put so much of his heart and soul into this league and into this team.
Yeah, and I think specifically into this team, it's been really nice to see him kind of be the pillar for TT through all this time, going 2.5 years now. Feels really nice, obviously, coming over from Cage from the LCK, but it's also the fact that we did see that slump and the fact that we've seen other people from TT step up, but we always know that Ucal will find his moment to shine here and again to yell at the sky. But we also take a look now that we have had no focus on the Dragons for yet another game, but this one's going even longer into it, and we still only have another 2 minutes or so till the next spawn of grubs.
I think particularly when you have Gnar, Twisted Fate, and like AD carry like this area in the mid lane, you do love getting grubs because they allow you to hit towers and snowball gold advantages out of control. I think that LPL as a whole did not necessarily adapt very well from Herald to grub meta. Having stuff like this now, we can play around these big combos.
To get the flash out, though, 1xN gonna try to poke back, but that is gonna be the summoner spell revisited, no doubt.
Yeah, so Ppgod also not able to like flash Zenith Blade forward as well and help Tianjin get onto the map. Of course, Tianjin has his level 6 markers as well at this point. He's ready to pull the trigger. And as you were saying before, no real Dragon Prior from TT. I think that they have focused very heavily on top side because they have that twist effect. We want to play towards those grubs and getting sidelines. You can even see Ucal heading towards top lane right now. Of course, he can combo further around if he wants to clear out that ward. But it's Tianjin who's left to kind of pick up the traps around bot side of the map. And yes, that's going to be an objective for them, but you do not want to be letting now Hoya get into a side lane with multiple grubs. They don't want to be letting the second spawn of grubs going over for free. TT, they've got 40 seconds to set up for it, and I feel like they are very, very happy now to take what trades they can to set up well for that top side again.
Yeah, I mean, you have Leandry's already completed for Beichuan, so his fight potential around those grubs just got a little bit terrifying. There is the Sundered Sky Arkansas combo for the mid jungle of OMG there. Obviously still needing a lot to stack that one up for Angel, but more the Sundered Sky for Tianjin. As he jumps to the separate targets, we'll be getting big bonuses off that.
So, what is this setup going to look like? Of course, we have level 6 on Ppgod. He doesn't have that flash. There's an important tool there, and an important tool missing as well. Ucal fell up mid lane. 1xN not roaming up right now. He's pushing out bot lane and trying to, I suppose, force Hery into responding in bot lane so he's not kind of there at the start of the fight. Hoya has that yellow card.
Immediately get Tianjin out there and try and get out of that situation. They bring Starry down from this top side. OMG looking prep for the fight. I do like that TT are utilizing this vision bush here. They will just get the frontal engage by Ppgod. They're going to get a big power class back to the face, though. Got to be very careful as OMG have withstood the first charge of OMG. Or of TT rather, and now OMG with that predatory instinct is going to move back over to the grubs. I don't know if TT are going to be willing to go for this one. They do have a lot of AoE damage still.
That's going to get rooted up by this. He's on face checking.
Spiraling Despair. Is it going to be enough to take him down? Just a little bit of healing back for Feather there. Ppgod looking over on the angle. The grubs are starting to fall. Already won the way of OMG. Nice little severing bolts, get 1xN a little bit lower. Another grub goes down the way of OMG, but TT want to move forward. They want to try to get this one, and they do. So they will end up getting 4 grubs, and now they want the engage. Big move from Ucal. He's gotten 2 kills, and he wants more. Look at that yellow card flash from Hoya as TT have come to town, and OMG can do nothing but watch.
OMG have just not dialed in on these grub fights effectively. I think that they did pretty well with Angel getting some damage beforehand, but they overstayed on that play, and as soon as the smite has gone down on the second of those grubs, you can't stick around for the third. There's every chance that Ucal can get himself an answer beyond that. You used your Ranger ultimate just before this too, and you see right here, Tianjin smites through onto this second grub as it comes through. And after that, you're not getting that third one. You're looking for a big engagement. He still doesn't have that flash. That's an important missing summoner for him. Ucal gets the wall right. Tianjin doesn't have his ultimate right this. Rengar without pushes and without that ultimate doesn't get that same ability to get stickiness onto targets and get himself that ferocity stacking up for the empowered abilities. And that was a huge difference maker there. OMG once again misjudging an early play, and now they're starting to fall behind, and that's a problem. Suddenly, you have grubs over to the side of TT. They can start using it to hit side lane turrets, and Hoya is very happy in his own position now too.
Really, really love to see Ucal stepping up. Game 1 was 1xN. Here, Ucal in game number 2 at his own marksman again, trying to make something happen here. Tianjin left wanting as he spots back and try to go for the red buff down here. We did get Triforce completed for 1xN now, so a lot more damage behind those Mystic shots as well. And we have to see how OMG can stay proactive, because this is not a composition that is going to feel good being behind.
Yeah, to the point where, so in champions like I was saying that maybe you go for like a Seeker second instead of the Rylai's or something like that for the junglers. I think actually at this point, because you're getting significantly far ahead now as TT, and Beichuan is going to be happy with the amount of gold he says. One of the bonuses of the AP junglers like Zyra and Brand right now is they build both the Leandries and the Rylai's, which are both HP items. Now compared to a mage like, I don't know, the Way or something, yes, you can go towards that Seraphs, and that's definitely items you can go towards, but not every mage goes towards double HP. This is much more survivable than a lot of people would assume at that point. So Beichuan's very happy to just go towards 2 threats and say, okay, jump on me, got a load of HP. Yeah, I can just stun you right back. And Tianjin is going to struggle to play from behind in this game. And credit to TT, they let this pick through and they're dealing well with it. Not many teams have done so far.
surprised that so many jungle bans did not come through for OMG, honestly. After that game 1 where we had like 5 jungle bans to start with, all the AP junglers were taken off. The fact that Brand got through it, it's so perfect into the jump in that you want to do as the Rengar. I mean, TT had been cooking this one up. That game number 1, they were starting off the appetizers, but this is a beautiful entree. And now it is also a situation where the Rift Herald is already going down. OMG are trying to collapse. They have the Predatory Instincts popped. The Rift Herald goes over the way of TT now, and they have a front-to-back fight. Starry's trying to make that a little bit different, but True Shot Barrage made the difference there. Now Ucal, he's going forward yet again, as he already burned the flash. Starry's going down to Hoya, and Ucal's picking up more here. Beichuan ends up getting one for himself. Ultra Shock Laser going to be dodged out of, but he has the dash, and there you go. Another kill for TT, and we might need to start calling them the Merry Men, because Ucal is starting to look like Little John here, and Robin Hood with 1xN.
We had Robin Hood in game 1, the Ashe was on point, and yeah, why not? Let's call it the whole band of thieves there from ThunderTalk, and they have absolutely stolen from the rich of 5-0 from OMG. They're not so poor themselves, but they'll be taking that win, absolutely. TT, they're looking to secure themselves playoffs with this series, and OMG, they have been slapped in the early game both times around now. The thrill of the hunt from XiaoFang has not really been that effective. He's trying to get in towards the smite cell, but he jumps in and is immediately CC'd by Feather. XiaoFang has basically 0 impact on this fight beyond that point. The Rengar, which has been so important for him, just hasn't had that same value. And the other side of it too, Starry, he gets zoned out, he gets a couple of the 2 of the 380 carries, which TT are bringing to play. It has been a very, very shutout performance in this early game so far. OMG have just not been fighting well around these topside objectives.
And it's just really rough to see OMG in this kind of state, but it's really, really awesome to see for TT fans and TT alike, because this is a situation where OMG were undefeated. They hadn't easily done that, but still sitting undefeated in a group Nirvana that we expected to be extremely chaotic is a stability that we didn't expect. And I think OMG now are facing the tough task of fighting back in this one and bringing us to another 3-gamer. But TT, they have shown up in force here. Hoya actually taking a decent trade on Hery, gets half his health taken, try to bait out for XiaoFang.
I mean, Hoya still has that ignite too. You jump too far forward, this guy's gonna kill you. Feather's here, he has ult, he has flash. You can't really dive this while Alice is there either. They pop themselves the Rengar ultimate. And of course the Rengar ultimate, that thrill of the hull, gives you the vision of the closest target. Tells you the Alistair's there. Means you can't really go for that dive. And that's now, what, 3 Rengar ultimates we've seen now with 0 gain from it. TT have been playing very, very well around this. We haven't even needed to see the interaction of, the thrill of the whole being popped, and then the destiny from the Twisted Fate revealing them with the cards above their head. That hasn't even needed to happen at this point. So OMG, they have been giving over a lot for free. They've not been achieving much with their big ticket ultimates.
Beichuan feeling very comfortable getting to that second item now as well, and just struggling to see the proactivity from OMG pulled off. Something that has been, it feels like their namesake a lot of times in this one. We're not seeing the similar combinations early that we might have expected, and now you can take advantage of a very, very meta team composition from TT to win out these objective fights, which we won't have up for a little while. So maybe giving a little bit of onus to OMG to find picks if TT are caught slacking.
Which is why you'd love to use that Rengar ultimate round about now, but you don't have it. Suddenly TT can push up, and they have themselves the Destiny Gate, so they can use that wherever the hell they want. Hoya has himself almost a 2,000 gold lead. Hoya, a player which I've definitely criticized in the past for someone who's not taken leads and done very much with them. I think actually weirdly Hoya and Hery both have been in weird situations like that before. They were big cannon players, but they weren't always determining games with that. Of course, Hoya in game 1 very much helped out with that. What huge amounts of damage, and now suddenly on Twisted Fate with a 2,000 gold lead, has the rapid fire cannon. He can very much control this game. So Hoya, it's been a good showing from him in this series so far. TT, we've known that they do have this upper level of potential hiding in the shadows in some of their series. It's just kind of guessing whether it's going to come out to play, especially against a team like OMG that are 5-0. It's good to see that we can do it against any team in Nirvana.
Well, hey, and I love that you highlight Hoya, because it's kind of the 2 pillars right now for TT over the last 2 years between him and Ucal. So really good step-ups from them in their solo lanes after 1xN. Giving them something to raise the level to in that game number 1, because I still think if you're a 1xN fan, you should absolutely go watch that game. It was absolutely incredible. for him. But now we're getting to a point where OMG have not been really proactive in this downtime. We still have a little bit of time. It's not like TT are going to pull Baron on play or anything, but Hery is the play now in the side lane as Ucal has come in with the shield bow completed. There is no Mega Gnar, and there is nothing to save you from the horn.
This is the problem when you don't have your tools, you fall behind on the map, and then suddenly TT can use their own weapons to Destiny Gate comes through. And this game has just not been about Tianjin in this mid-game on the Rengar, who should be kind of corralling the enemy team to stick together. They're sticking together now, but others, they want to kill you!
Oh, look away! Oh my god, Feather, that was disgusting! 1xN goes into, and OMG are scattered to the wind.
We said that OMG wanted to be more aggressive, be more proactive. They absolutely can't be. They've tried to fire their shots. They've gone wide. TT, they've been the ones which have been hitting home with their big ultimates. And OMG, they just haven't been able to withstand the big engages. It's been Hoya, it's been Beichuan, it's been Ucal, 1xN in that first game. It's been Feather in this one too, with some huge combos, both around the Herald fights and then around this play as well. TT, they have found their playmaking tools and now they are continuing to increase into the lead. I mean, this is a 9,000 gold lead at 20 minutes. You don't see this kind of lead very often.
Yeah.
And TT, they have so many items coming out of that. They haven't even hit the Ramada transformation on Ezreal. It's only going to get worse for OMG.
And we take a look back at this one. I mean, Feather, this is a montage-worthy play. The flash to make sure a 3-man there on top of it.
Look, when you got the Rengar in the game, you'd think that, you know, the lion would be the most dangerous animal on
malnourished,
on
all right?
There's a cow here. I was actually speaking about this the other day. One of the most deadly, in fact, the deadliest animal, at least in the UK, is in fact the cow. So for me growing up,
so sad.
Yeah, those things are really, well, you say that, they're also really heavy. If they get angry, they're carving. They're carving. You don't stand next to those cows. Feather, you know, it's a little bit different in that case, but just don't walk up to the bull. He's got a lot of, he's got a lot of threat. It's a dangerous animal.
OMG, this is what we were talking about though. They have collapsed, they have that dive, they get another kill for Tianjin. That Pyroclasm will not find as much as maybe they were hoping for, but Tianjin getting locked down now as well, still burning. Here comes Ucal, he's the one with all the gold. He needs to get in there to get the damage down. Ppgod giving his life over, Feather goes over too, but look at Ucal this entire time, like lightning, making ThunderTalk click. But now Hery trying to get his Mega Gnar here to get a setup. They do end up getting Feather in the end as Angel's sustained damage is coming in so ridiculously clutch. Beichuan cannot find the angle there. Does get CC'd out, and TT do end up losing a couple bodies.
This is how OMG would have loved to play most of this mid-game. They want to have that Rengar coming out from unexpected angles with very, very fast move speed on that Thrill of the Hunt, and they do manage to find 1xN finally. Now, the problem is they do win that fight, but not cleanly enough to stay on the map. Beichuan now can stay up, and he's got stronger regular abilities than Tianjin, of course, who goes down. So you can stay around, you can burn down his dragon, there's no spike from OMG. So even though OMG win a 2-for-1 fight overall, you don't get to stick around for the objective, and sadly for them, they also don't get something like that shut down onto Hoya either. Hoya had a great turnaround onto Tianjin at the back part of that fight too. So OMG, it's not even the clean victory they're looking for, and of course it's very hard to get them because they're so far down in gold. If you can catch one of these carries, great. Well, what about the other 3?
And you have to remember through all of this, OMG are sitting at the top of Group Nirvana here. They're sitting in their lofty towers as the rich, and it's TT who have stuck up on them. The merry men here, able to steal away the fortune, maybe give it to the less fortunate here in Group Nirvana and make these last couple series super spicy. And we are getting TT's play here on the back end where OMG finally took advantage of what they're strong at.
Look, I've had a lot of praise for 1xN recently. This isn't it. You're amazing, Rengar. Walks up too far from it. It's a really good punish gimmick from OMG. Very, very quick time. Also, another thing which happened there is that Feather was stunned when he was looking to deny the Rengar jump in. Couldn't get himself the headbutt pulverize. Because of that, Hoya does get engaged onto, but Hoya is so strong. This is the problem. You kill one of those targets. You can't kill all of them. Hoya is so strong right now because he has a free entrance into the fight. He's not the one targeted. He's completely fine to do that. Feather dies to the Scorch as well. From Angel. That's
actually really funny. It just burns just a little bit extra. But it also was some nice smooth mechanics there from Tianjin on his signature here. The ward jump into the jump onto the top lane. But now I specifically want to see OMG set up around this, try to use some of those tools. They are still down for a long while, especially more importantly, I think Ppgod's Solar Flare is that ticket in. Obviously, Hery can have big entrances, but they are looking at a side lane play right now.
Yeah, once again, they have that thrill of the hunt.
He's going deep.
He's going deep. Ucal, he's found himself.
Oh, gets the lightning crash. Look how much healing he has back, though. He's taking a 1v2, but going to be CC'd down. They got the TP killer instinct, too. Starry picks up the kill. And now OMG have presence around this top side.
Yeah, OMG, they're using that Rengar ultimate. They keep going forwards and they keep finding players in the side lane. In group stage, TT showed pretty poor understanding of their side lanes. This might have cost them a Baron hit. There is no Rengar ultimate now. There is no Starry Kaiser ultimate either. Can TT fight without Ucal?
Ucal was a massive center of damage for them. They need to get 1xN in there. Solar Flare goes on to Hoya. They do get the Spiraling Despair on him too. He's going to bring it back to the team. Here it goes. Hery hits the big Megadar. Big 4-man and Pyroclasm on top of that. You thought you had it, but we had the high ground the entire time. TT's 1xN stepping up for his own kill onto Angel, and that's going to be straight to the Baron for the ThunderTalk King.
OMG have consistently now in the last few minutes found the first person in the fight, but they can't find the second, the third, the fourth, and TT, they always have another carry waiting in this game with this kind of gold lead. They're going to get themselves the Baron. It's not been the cleanest mid-game from them. They probably split too far and allowed Tianjin into the game on the Rengar, but it has been enough. Even with Tianjin going towards a more aggressive second item, going towards the Ravenous Hydra for quicker burst damage, it hasn't been enough for him to have the extended fight beyond that first combo. They use a lot for this. They use the Rengar ultimate, they use the Kaiser ultimate. You don't have that same ability to turn off the Baron. And this is a big problem because the TF ult means that TT can walk up and be a lot more impactful with this first intro and things. That doesn't mean that they deny all the enemy walls at the same time. So
Feather here, though.
This is about as good as it gets for taking down the first carries. Whoa. But again, this is so much working through. The Brand gets a big combo because Feather gets another huge headbutt pump.
I don't even know what to say. He's like, is he Friar Tuck? Like, I don't know who he is on the Merry Men, but he needs to be somebody because my God, this man is having an incredible performance. 16 KP out of 19. And multi-man knockups here for Feather.
I'm more interested about who's going to be like Babe Barry.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm trying to figure it out as we go. K9Mara, I'm working through it.
Look, we had this game one was very obvious game. Oh wow, they hit the arrow as Robin Hood. Well, yeah, what happens after that point? Well, they might need to find themselves a castle to hunker down behind. Tianjin's popped the ultimate, trying to find another split target. Doesn't find himself onto those carries now, so it's going to be just an ultimate for scouting and nothing else.
Gonna keep sieging this one down. They have so much siege potential with Ucal and 1xN, and also a lot of the CC chain that can follow them up. Dragon is coming up, but that's not nearly the focus right now, as they want to get some of these inhibs down as they have time.
So, OMG, particularly because they use that Rengar ultimate, it probably does mean that TT have a lot more time to do whatever the heck they want for the time being. Tianjin's ultimate going to be down for the start of the Dragon play as well. So TT, they keep walking up. They have themselves huge items. They do have that Muramana transformation onto 1xN. They've had that for a little while now. TT have so much power to work with. They have themselves a lot of waves at their back.
And you have to remember what TT are fighting for. We made jokes about Robin Hood, but they truly are stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, getting themselves a playoff play-in spot here. And it's really important for TT as a whole to kind of bring back a season that has had its big trials for them.
This has not been the easy, well, it wasn't easy year last year for TT. TT have been a team that have had to, they've had to strive, they've had to grow, they've had to bring in different players. Feather coming into the roster, of course, at this time as well. TT integrating the pieces to try and build towards something more. They have shown an upper level, which we know can maybe get them into playoffs, but they need to prove it. They need to go further. Tianjin popping the ult.
They spot him out. Ppgod's already gone. Now Tianjin all by himself in two-man cage there. And the line is going to be put on display at the local zoo here because OMG are going down. Starry trying to get the master play on the side. Can rebuff TT a little bit as the siege has been relayed. The big next minion wave is going to be the question as Stu hit by the True Shot Barrage, and here come the cannons.
Can they use the wave play? There's still a way in the game. Good wave play. Is it enough? It might just be for now, but maybe not for the first Nexus turret.
Again, TT fighting tooth and nail. A 4-win series score gets them that ticket. Oh, it's just gone. Oh my goodness. The Severing Bolt is starting to do some serious work here, and Angel is showing why this pick was picked from the draft, because in the end, it will be the stabilizing factor, and we're talking about stability here. OMG getting pounced on. Hery didn't even have Megadar, and Ucal just absolutely shrinks him down to size. Tianchen now looking for it. They find him. They get 1x set. Spiraling Despair on him as well. Angel picks up the kill. Double CC chain over here with the Solar Flare. Ppgod trying to stop Ucal. They will end up getting Feather, and TT overextend, leading to a double kill for Angel and OMG's second Dragon.
Yeah, TT overstay. The overstay in the base, they do get all 3 inhibs, so they will get themselves probably a Nexus Tower as well, because there's no one defending that. There are super minions on them, and that will be one of those towers going down. God, even the second one might go down. I don't think Starry's got the weight.
Oh my goodness, no, it's going down.
It's minion dip. It's Winion dip.
I'm looking at the TPs right now. I'm looking at everything coming out from TT as they move in. They took the Dragon. What? OMG reverse Uno'd themselves into a potential loss.
What? The OMG! The trade is going to be Dragon for Nexus. They didn't even get the Dragon. It's even a failed trade deal and one of the worst ones. OMG, they lose the Dragon. They lose themselves Nexus turrets. And when you have Ucal with Teleport and Hoya with his Destiny Gate, you can see why they're hovering over him with the Spectator. We have seen Twisted Fate backdoors for many years in League of Legends. And he has himself so many items to auto-attack down towers and a Seekers as well to keep himself safe. OMG, they have been shown the ropes by TT. This has been a shellacking. OMG, a good punish of the overstay from TT, but they couldn't stick the landing. TT still have a ridiculous gold lead. They still have a ridiculous amount of map pressure, and now they're teleporting back out onto the map.
I love that we just watched Hoya clear like 4 control wards there. And now Tianchen is just out by himself trying to get wards and just goes down to Ucal. This is signaling the end, and what a shocker. This was the Chaos series for me. This was the one that was supposed to go to 3, but OMG, their backs against the wall as we welcome the merry men of TT into a 2-0 victory against the undefeated OMG, and that is what we love in the LPL.
ThunderTalk Gaming will qualify for the Knights rival stage of the LPL, where they will compete for those last vaunted playoff spots against the bottom 2 teams from Ascension. That'll be LGD and NIP, and of course alongside them will be, of course, OMG. They're also in that bracket right now as well, so they'll be facing with them alongside those teams in Rare Atom, of course, with one other team left from Nirvana yet to be decided. The last remaining team will be one of Invictus Gaming, Ultra Prime, and Team WE. Right now it's Invictus Gaming with a bit of a lead on the others, so we're expecting them to potentially make it through, but there's still drama yet. We have not solved who will be going through from that Nirvana group, but TT, they can breathe a sigh of relief. They played very well today. We know that they do have this kind of potential. It has been quite frustrating not to see him through the entirety of this Nirvana group stage, but they've shown that they can make it through this battle of the bands and go through to the next stage.
I mean, that wasn't showing. That was showing off. Like, the fact that they handled OMG. We came into this day like, all right, we have to start having a real conversation about OMG. There's only 1 series left for both these 2 teams. OMG are undefeated. Could it go with the undefeated split?